Ian Rush is a name that every football fan, especially those with a soft spot for Liverpool, knows and respects. When you think of natural goal scorers, the players who just have that instinct for finding the back of the net, Ian is right at the top of the list. He wasn't just a striker, he was a phenomenon, a relentless hunter of goals who defined an era of incredible success for Liverpool Football Club. His partnership with Kenny Dalglish is the stuff of legend, a perfect combination of craft and clinical finishing. For an entire generation of supporters who grew up in the 1980s, Ian Rush wasn't just a player on the team sheet. He was the guarantee of a goal, the man who could turn a tight match into a victory with a single decisive touch. His journey to becoming an Anfield icon started not on Merseyside, but a little way down the road at Chester City. Even as a young lad, it was clear he had something special. He made his debut for them as a teenager and quickly caught the eye of the biggest clubs in the country. Liverpool's legendary scout, Jeff Twentyman, was famously persistent in recommending him to the manager, Bob Paisley. In 1980, Liverpool made their move, paying a record fee for a teenager at the time, a whopping £300,000. It was a massive investment, but one that would pay itself back 1,000 times over in the years that followed, proving to be one of the shrewdest signings in the club's history. Arriving at a club already filled with established stars could have been daunting for anyone, let alone a young player from a lower division side. His first season was a period of adjustment and learning. He didn't walk straight into the first team and score for fun. He had to bide his time, adapt to the Liverpool way, and understand the immense pressure of playing for the reigning champions of England and Europe. Bob Paisley was a master at managing young talent, slowly integrating Ian into the squad, teaching him the importance of work rate and movement off the ball. This patient approach was crucial in moulding him from a promising young talent into the lethal finisher he was destined to become. That initial period of learning was vital. It taught him that being a Liverpool forward was about more than just scoring goals. It was about relentless pressing and being the first line of defence. He learned from the best, watching players like Dalglish and David Johnson absorbing every detail of their play. When his opportunity finally came, he was ready to seize it with both hands. The patience shown by the club and the hard work put in by the player himself laid the foundation for a career that would shatter records and bring unparalleled glory to Anfield, cementing his place as one of the greatest strikers the English game has ever witnessed. His story is a perfect example of talent meeting opportunity. When you talk about Ian Rush, the statistics are simply staggering. They paint a picture of a striker whose consistency and ruthlessness in front of goal were almost unbelievable. Across 2 spells with Liverpool, he played a grand total of 660 games, a testament to his fitness, determination and importance to the team over many years. But it's the goal-scoring figure that truly sets him apart. He is Liverpool's all-time leading goal scorer, a record that is unlikely to ever be broken. He found the back of the net an incredible 346 times for the club. That number isn't just a statistic, it's a legacy written in goals, each one contributing to the club's dominant era. Breaking down those numbers reveals even more about his incredible impact. He was the man for the big occasion, especially in cup finals. He holds the record for the most goals scored in FA Cup finals, with 5 to his name. 2 of those came in the famous 1986 final against City rivals Everton, and another 2 sealed the cup against the same opponents in 1989. This ability to perform when the pressure was at its highest is what separates the great players from the legends. His predatory instincts never deserted him, whether it was a cold Tuesday night in a league game or a sun-drenched afternoon at Wembley with a trophy on the line for the Reds. His individual accolades also reflect his standing in the game during his peak. In 1984, a year in which Liverpool won the League Cup and the European Cup, Rush was recognised as the best player in England and Europe. He won both the PFA Players Player of the Year and the FWA Footballer of the Year awards. To top it all off, he was awarded the European Golden Boot for being the continent's top goalscorer with 32 league goals. These awards confirm what everyone watching him already knew. For that period, he was arguably the most feared and effective striker in world football. His time at Juventus in Italy for one season was perhaps the only slight dip in his remarkable career. but his return to Anfield felt like a homecoming. He picked up right where he left off, continuing to score crucial goals for the club he loved. Even in his later years, when he might have lost a yard of pace, his footballing brain and goal-scorer's instinct remained as sharp as ever. His career wasn't just a short burst of brilliance, it was a long, sustained period of excellence. The sheer volume of his goals and appearances solidifies his status not just as a club hero, but as a true giant of the sport. The ultimate measure of success in football is, of course, the trophies you win, and Ian Rush's medal collection is simply extraordinary. His time at Liverpool coincided with the club's most dominant period, and he was the sharp end of the spear, the man whose goals fired them to title after title. He won the First Division Championship an incredible 5 times. This consistency in the league, the toughest competition of all, shows the level he and his teammates maintained season after season. Winning the league is a marathon, not a sprint, and Rush's goals provided the fuel for Liverpool's relentless charge to the top of English football throughout the 1980s. Beyond domestic league success, he had a special relationship with the cup competitions. He lifted the FA Cup 3 times, etching his name into the competition's folklore with his final heroics. The League Cup was a competition he practically owned, winning it an astonishing 5 times. For many clubs, winning one of these trophies would make a successful season, but for Rush's Liverpool, it was an expectation. His knack for scoring vital goals in semi-finals and finals was instrumental in filling the Anfield trophy room. He seemed to relish the knockout format, thriving on the do-or-die pressure that came with every single round of the Cup. Of course, the pinnacle of club football is the European Cup, now known as the Champions League. Ian Rush reached that peak with Liverpool in 1984, completing an incredible treble-winning season. Defeating Roma in their own stadium in the final was a monumental achievement, and Rush was a key part of that legendary team. Although he didn't score in the final itself, his goals throughout the campaign were crucial in getting them there. Winning Europe's biggest prize cemented that team's place in history, and for Rush, it was the ultimate confirmation of his status as a player who could deliver on the very biggest stage against the best teams in the world. These trophies were not won by accident. They were the result of a perfectly constructed team, a brilliant manager, and a group of players with an insatiable hunger for success. Ian Rush was the focal point of that winning machine. His goals were the currency of their success, turning dominant performances into victories and tight games into points. Every medal he owns represents a moment of glory for Liverpool fans, a memory of a time when their team was the undisputed best. The sheer weight of the silverware he won is perhaps the clearest testament to his incredible impact on the history of Liverpool Football Club. While Ian Rush will forever be remembered for his 346 goals, his importance to Liverpool went far beyond just putting the ball in the net. He was the embodiment of the team's philosophy under managers like Bob Paisley and Joe Fagan. His work rate was phenomenal. He was the first line of defence, tirelessly chasing down defenders and goalkeepers, forcing them into mistakes high up the pitch. This relentless pressing, or closing down as we used to call it, was not as common for strikers back then, but it was a non-negotiable part of playing for Liverpool. His energy set the tone for the entire team, inspiring his teammates to work just as hard. This commitment is a huge part of why the Anfield faithful adored him so much. They could see he gave everything for the shirt. He wasn't a luxury player who waited for chances to be created for him. He worked for the team, creating space for others with his intelligent movement and hassling opponents into submission. This selfless attitude, combined with his lethal finishing, made him the complete forward. Fans appreciate honesty and hard work above all else, and Ian Rush delivered that in every single one of his 660 appearances. He played with a passion and dedication that mirrored that of the supporters in the stands. On the pitch, he was a leader through his actions. His professionalism and single-minded focus on winning were an inspiration to the younger players coming through the ranks. When you have a player like Ian Rush in your dressing room, setting the standard every day in training and every weekend on the pitch, it raises the level of everyone around him. His partnership with Kenny Dalglish is often cited as the perfect example of footballing telepathy. But his understanding with other players like John Barnes and Peter Beardsley was just as effective. He was the reliable spearhead that the entire team was built around for over a decade. Today his legacy endures. He remains a hugely respected figure at the club, serving as an official ambassador, representing Liverpool with the same class and dignity he showed as a player. He is a link to the most glorious era in the club's history, a living legend who reminds the current generation of the standards required to succeed at Liverpool. For fans, he is more than just a record holder. He is a symbol of a time when Liverpool ruled the world, a hero whose name is still sung on the Kop. Ian Rush is and always will be an Anfield institution, the ultimate goal machine.